Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everybody. Awesome to see everybody. It's been a fun week. And yeah, this week I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just like always, work on Bedrock, but specifically do a little bit of stuff to bring the CSS version and the non-CSS version kind of more in line with each other, as well as do some fun things that I've learned how to do on TypeScript. So, welcome. Thanks for coming on, and let's get going. If you're new here, we there. Oops. Fun of live TV. I have my live streaming. I had an alarm that I forgot to go off. But I am the creator / maintainer of the Bedrock layout library, and every week we just do a little bit of work on this library, and just do some stuff for maintenance. Sometimes we work on the website. Sometimes we work on actual features. Sometimes a little bit of both. I think this website has made so much improvements since I started streaming with all the feedback and help. So, but yeah, let's jump into it. What we're going to work on right now is there's the frame component, which the whole kind of point of the frame component is to wrap content, usually like media, like an image or like a video, but it doesn't have to be. It can be any kind of content. And if you give it an aspect ratio, it will maintain that aspect ratio. And then you can move that positioning around. But also, it's also good because it maintains the image aspect ratio, and it kind of crops it so that the image doesn't become distorted. And then instead of using a ratio, you can use outside influences, the parent container, or you can just pass in like height or width to it to maintain a shape. The one thing that's different though is that this originally I set it up to be like an array of numbers, which is a good prop API and is a good starting point. But if we go to the CSS only version, we actually are using an entirely different API. And so I don't want to remove well, it's not entirely different, but we have a different API. So I want to adopt this API, add some type safety to it, while still also maintaining the two array. So anyway, that's the goal for this hour. So hopefully we can get all that done, get all the documentation updated. So let's jump in here. We're going to make this take up more of my screen here. And let's come in here. And let's also come over here to the CSS version. Oops. I do this all the time. Let's go open to the side. And then let's open this one up over here. Good. Okay. So, by the way, I almost forgot to mention. I have done a new release recently. And by the way, if you're new to the stream, definitely like throw your name in there. I'll give you a shout out. Love participation. Just totally throw some comments in the chat. But recently, a question I get a lot was, each of these components are individually installable, which has some benefits. So you can yarn install just this component, or just the grid component, for example. But sometimes they're like, I get the question sometimes around the lines of how do I know which versions can work with the others? And honestly, originally I used to just say, well, they will always work. They're designed to be independent of each other, so they should always be able to work with each other. But also the other question I often got was like, so what do I do if like I know I want pretty much everything? Like, is there a way to just install something once? And so I decided to create a new package called the primitives package, which is everything. You can just install one thing and you get everything but the CSS only. Like, this is still a separate install. And I think that makes sense. So anyway, if you want to check that out, play around with it, you just yarn add at Bedrock. Look at that. We have a typo. Laylock. Look at that. Bedrock layout, Bedrock laylock. So let's fix, since I'm thinking about that, let's go fix that. Primitives. Layout. That's hilarious. Okay. Anyway, so let's go back to what we were doing. So, right now we're saying this ratio is not required, and it has to be an array of numbers. Let's move this out and create that as type ratio equals. So, tuple of numbers is what that would be called in TypeScript. Number. I got a little bit of my Copilot like figuring things out for me. The other thing we can say that it can be and this blew my mind once I started seeing that you could do this, is that we can have a number. Oh my goodness, it just filled it in for me. So now we're saying a ratio can be a string of number / number. And if we want just to play around with this so we can see this, TypeScript playground. I probably have a bunch of crap. I play with stuff on TypeScript playground a lot, so I might have a bunch of crap in here. But yeah. Okay. So let's create a type ratio string equals. And if we want to say ratio is of type ratio string, I can go, you see it's not okay until I put a number after a number, a slash, and a number. If I change this to anything that doesn't match that, what I'm wondering, interesting though, this works, and that's probably not ideal, but I don't know if there's a way to like what if we go type positive number equals 1 or 2 1 or 2 3 4 5 6 Here's 8, 9, 0. 8, 9, oops, 7, 8, 9. Now 0, that's a good question. What does this really make sense? Yeah, see, positive number. So we could do 0. We really wouldn't ever want to have a 0 ratio. So I wonder if we should go. But then we run into, yeah, look at this. That's not going to work. Yeah, so we can't, this isn't going to work. We can add some type safety, but I don't think it makes sense to try to like overcompensate too much. And so, I don't know, might be worth Googling here. Let's see here. TypeScript positive number. Let's see if someone's got. Must be positive. Type guards, type value equals number. Let's see here. Yeah, well, if anyone here is a TypeScript expert and knows how to do a positive number type, that would be great. Types. Seems that could be something that TypeScript would be able to do. Number. Yeah, that's more of just going into like JavaScript. So, yeah, I don't think there's a good way to ensure positive numbers or numbers above 0 in types. So let's just go with that. If we can find a better solution in the future, that would be great. So the other thing I was doing before is, because aspect ratio wasn't, when this was first created, wasn't like universal, I was using the padding top hack where you would force a ratio. If you've ever seen that, it's not really needed anymore, but there's the padding for ratio CSS. Pretty well. The padding hack, yeah, it's pretty well documented how to do it. You create a padding top or a bottom of a percentage, and that creates the 16 by 9, and you basically take the bottom in an aspect ratio, take the bottom number, divide it by the top number, and that gives you the percentage to do the aspect ratio. But now that aspect ratio is well supported, it's not supported in IE, but I don't try to support IE with this layout library. My goal is to always support the latest -1. So it has to be at least supported in the latest, in the Not the most recent, but the second to most recent version. So let's come in here. What I was doing this thing where we would take those ratios, those numbers, and put them in the numerator and denominator. I don't need to do that calculation anymore. So let's first of all, let's go ahead and let's take that prop. Yeah, ratio. I love that. What I really want to do is save ratio. And we're going to do a check. And go array.is array ratio. Then we want to do ratio.join. We're going to put a that there, and we don't want to split it. Otherwise, we're gonna, let's just be naive about that for a moment. Let's go style. See, so the other thing I'm going to do here is we're going to align this to the way the CSS frame is built. Is that we're expecting a ratio to be provided. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of this trickery here. So the aspect ratio, let's get rid of this. And we're going to get rid of this. We're going to go style. Style. And no, this is not. Good guess. So this is what we're saying. Hey, if ratio is an array, let's join those into a string. Otherwise, we're just going to provide it. And this right now, let's just be naive and say we got the right thing. And this will be good because if ratio is undefined, then this will be undefined, and so will this. Then we can do this thing here. But we're gonna this is all, everything else here is consistent. Okay. Yep. Okay. So Yeah, let's just stick with the naive approach, and then we can do a little bit more from there. Because we're also going to need to do let's get rid of that. I think that's pretty obvious. We're going to need to change this validator. But yeah, we'll get there in a few moments when we do some tests. So let's look at, did anything break here? Where are we at? Frame, yeah. Frame API. So we need to change this. So first of all, it doesn't look like anything broke. Let's see if, but it doesn't look like we're actually, I think I need a rebuild. Yeah, that makes sense. I need a rebuild. So let's yarn build. This is going to take a few moments. While that's going, next week I have an idea, which is there's this library, the React, not React, sorry. There's a new framework, well, relatively new, called Solid.js. I'm really excited and interested in this. And there's this solid hack going on. And what I think would be really cool would be to create or port over, I'm trying to decide how I want to do this, but bring over Bedrock into Solid. Let's see how that works. So I was thinking maybe next stream I might do this. Yeah, it'd be really fun. I think it would be pretty cool to get that working. Just because I want to have a reason to also use Solid and to like look at it and play around with it and understand it. So yeah, I think this would be a really fun project. Anyway. What's really cool, now that I switched to using Vite, this build is like so much faster. So let's refresh this. Everything here seems to be working fine still. Okay. Oh, come on. Select element. That's what I want to do. Let's make sure that we're actually getting our changes. We are. And we're getting 4 to 3. And yeah. This is working just like we want. And then let's see. Without an aspect ratio, we should not see. Perfect, yeah. There is no aspect, there's no ratio prompt coming in here. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. So let's update our examples. So first of all, this is not accurate anymore. I'm going to say it's a type ratio. Um, so that can mean trying to think. Which is either number or a number. Oops. Number. Trying to think. Is this confusing to see this? Would it be better if I just did this? And why is this complaining? Yeah. I don't care about that here. Okay. I think this makes more, rather than just saying ratio, this is much more clear of what this expects. This is either a number followed by another number or a string with a number / number. Perfect. So that's better. Now let's add. Let's go ratio as array. Good. So let's see here. The ratio prop takes. Well, can actually. Yeah, I gotta spell that right. I kind of want to emphasize the string over the array at this point. Show as string, ratio as array. Okay. Let's say the ratio prop takes ratio and takes a string that is in the format of your number $, number, which represents desired aspect ratio. We are doing a 16:9. Okay. The ratio prop can also take an array of two numbers, which represents the ratio of the width and height. Okay. So there we go. Ratio as string. So that will take us here. I don't need this open anymore. So now we're saying this is a 16 by 9. That's great. Then we say ratio as an array. This is a 4 by 3. Perfect. I think that's good. So let's try to think. Is this all we need for documentation for the updates? We do need to update the README. Let's close this. Why is this so crazy looking? Oh, that's why. So we have that in there. Okay. So this is, we need to change this to be of type $sign. That's not what I want. I think I want to. That's not looking right. I wanted to put it in a template, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Number. Let's see here. There we go. Not Command P, we're going to Command Shift P, format, save. Okay. So we've updated the stories. So let's close this. Let's go ahead and these are the visual stories that we want to maintain. So let's go yarn chromatic. And this is going to go to chromatic and run some visual tests. And I am sure some things will be different here. Then while we're at it, let's look at these tests. Renders with yeah, we're gonna have some snapshots that change here. So let's go ahead and be a little bit more specific here. Renders with ratio as as an array. As a string. (16 by 9). Perfect. Okay. It's still going. Did something break here? Oh no, there we go. Now it's publishing the storybook, and then it's going to verify. Perfect. Yeah, so this is exactly what I expected. I should have some visual changes that I need to go confirm. So let's review these changes. So this is entirely new because we have ratio as an array, so I'm going to accept this, and ratio as string. So this is some new baselines that I need to approve of. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to go yarn test -- watch. Let's go update our tests. Now I like to kind of, whenever possible, try to do a little bit of like kind of a TDD like kind of thing. It's not always possible, but let's go ahead and update some of these snapshots and make sure ratio not ratio. If ratio is not correct type. Yeah, we'll just do that. And we're going to have to update some snapshots. And then this is still not completely accurate because what we have here, let's go back to the frame. Yeah, we don't need to do this anymore. Yeah, because we're being too naive. So what we want some type of probably, function is ratio. And we're gonna unknown. Now let's go return. First of all, we're going to say Let's see here. Let's think about this. Okay. We're gonna do and so these two things have to be true. Actually, let's do this separately. Is correct array. So we're going to do that first. All these things have to be we're going to go ratio dot every number actually number is finite. What does that do? I'm not aware of that. Number is finite. If you know what that is, let me know. Number dot is finite. Whether the pass value is a finite number, that is, it checks the type as a given value is a number, and that is neither positive infinity, negative infinity, or not a number. Well, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So that's one check. So the next thing we're going to do check, hey, is it an array? If it is the correct array, let's just return. Or let's do a type of ratio is string, and I don't want to do includes. I'd rather go, let's do a regex. No, not like that. Actually, I want this regex. Oh, come on, computer. Why are you going so slow? I'm probably going to change this. Oh, come on. Check. Oh, my computer is just